Good evening. We're back. It's Tuesday. Hope everyone's doing well. We got new lights. Look at this. We got some cool backlighting. I've actually got proper lighting on my face, which means theoretically there should be, you know, correct frame rate. I'm watching on the stream and it looks like everything camera wise looks a lot higher quality than usual, which is exactly what we're going for. That is the purpose of the good old lighting. And for those of you who haven't seen already, over in the Discord server, the all of the cameras and stuff are set up and the scenes all ready and laid out for recording videos in the studio again, which is awesome. We've got the new layout of the room, new desk placement, speakers are back set up again. Yeah, everything's looking really cool, really clean, and I'm really excited to be getting started back making proper videos to go on the channel again, which will, you know, cover all sorts of things from stuff that I've experienced in my indie game developer journey, things about reviews of stuff that you might consider investing, for example, the wonderful keyboard that I have sat in front of me right now, breakdowns of code that we've got on games. All of this stuff is stuff that we're going to be having on the channel moving forwards, and I'm going to try and get videos out as regularly and frequently as I possibly can. There's no guarantee, obviously, because I'm still balls deep in a degree and working full-time at the company I'm at, but I do now have another developer working with me on the games, specifically Shepherd, which we're going to be working on today. So workload for actually developing the games and getting the games out for you guys to play is going to be a lot more manageable, at least for the foreseeable future, which is nice. Joseph Durr, hello my man. I am doing really well, thank you. I hope you're doing well too, dude. Yeah, I was just talking about the lights, new studio, new developers, what we're doing today, new videos coming over the coming weeks and over the Christmas period, which is really exciting. And I'm just, I'm so gassed for everything to be moving forwards. And thank you very much for the congrats on 600 subs. That is all completely Zyap guy's responsibility. He gave us a shout out on his channel a couple of days ago, and yeah, that's properly boosted us up to the 600 goal, which I'm unbelievably grateful for that, especially with, you know, the absences in posting and hanging around not doing anything, freezing the algorithm and kind of just killing the channel's appeal from YouTube's point of view. It's really nice, it's a really nice thing for him to have done to help get the ball rolling a bit more again. So yeah, I'm unbelievably grateful for that. And hello Frozen Well, it's good to see you as well, man. I am doing real well and I hope you are doing good too. So our plan for today, as you can probably see by the title, we're going to be working on Shepherd, which we haven't seen for a while on the channel. The one and only time that it's actually been spoken about was in August, when I first announced it, and I'll be completely honest, the state of the game hasn't changed too much since then. The additions that we've had are in the main menu, which I'm actually going to pull up and show you guys because I'm really proud of how it came out and how it's looking. But we've got this nice cool physics-based title, which kind of hangs like it's on a rope, like a sign that you might see out the front of a farm or something, and that just fills me with joy. It's all completely physics-based and completely procedural, so that just makes me really happy. It took so long to do, but was completely worth it for the vision that I had for the game. Frozen Well, never seen Shepherd, mate. Well, I'm glad you're here then, because it's a fun little game. The basic premise of Shepherd is that you are a shepherd. You run a little pasture with some sheep, and the whole idea is that you're trying to breed and sell sheep to earn as much money as you possibly can. The catch being that you can plant different types of grass which change the genetics of the sheep that you're breeding. So you might have a piece of grass that maybe makes sheep really fast, and then when a sheep eats it and it reproduces, its offspring might have the chance of being a really fast sheep, and that makes it worth more money, so you can sell it and earn more to buy more grass and keep building things. It's a really exciting kind of silly project which I will be putting out for free. It's going to be up on the itch.io. It's not one of the major releases, and I certainly don't plan on porting it over to consoles like I do with Square Off and Let Me Out, but it's more of a fun one just for you guys to be able to play, and it's kind of a high score tycoon thing. So we've got a leaderboard which currently doesn't show anything because there's no scores. We've got a functional options menu which you can change sounds of change the volume of sounds for sound effects and music. You can also change the resolution the game's running at, and that all saves to player prefs as well. The music you're hearing in the background of this stream is the music for the game as well, which is really cool. And yeah, it's I like the menu a lot. It's simple, but it looks really cool, especially with the physics-based sign. Assassin Gamer, hi my man, I hope you are doing good. It's been a while since I've seen you in stream. I've been quiet and I'm glad you're back, because I do love chatting with you. And the rest of you guys, of course. All you guys that come join me on streams. Love chatting with you. So, get to the butchers quicker, yeah, exactly. These guys are quick. So I'll tell you what, seeing as majority of you guys here haven't actually seen much about the game, let's hit the play button and I'll give you a quick show of how things work. So like I say, the basic premise is that you have these sheep in your little field. You can rotate the thing around and move around. My frame rate's going to be a bit choppy because of the fact that I'm streaming and for some reason something's eating up my RAM. But you start the game off with 3 random sheep, random names, and they'll have some random abilities. So David is absolutely useless. He's sluggish and lazy, so he falls asleep quickly and he moves slowly. Absolutely useless. Monty is completely normal, and Pamela is lazy, so she falls asleep quickly, which this is just outrageous. These guys are rubbish. At the moment they're looking for food. I can't plant any grass unless I have some money. So there we go, I'll plant some grass here. I sold one of my sheep so that I could plant the grass, and they'll come in here and eat so they don't die basically. The AI for them is a bit scuffed at the moment, if I'm completely honest, and it's something that I'm going to need to be working on, but that's not what we're going to be working on today. And the idea is, as you get further along, reproductive drive ticks up over time, and you can get them to reproduce, and they do a fun little animation with some particle effects, and a new baby will be born, and it gives you events for things like that as well. But there's some really fun emergent kind of things, like there's a trait that we've got called I think it's cheeky, yeah, cheeky, which basically just gives any sheep with cheeky as a thing has the chance to just run away while you're not looking at it. So if it's off the camera, you might get a message at the bottom that says Billy has run away and that's it, Billy's just gone. So that's a really funny thing, and it's that kind of just a silly little side project really. Started off with me trying to learn procedural animation, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to make a game out of this, and this is what came up. So we have a Trello board. We've got a lot of stuff done. The things with core feature are the things that need doing for the game to be finished. So there's not actually a lot left. We've basically, for the current sprint, which is this week up until Friday or Saturday, myself and Alex, who is the person who is working with me on this project, very grateful for his time and his effort towards this. We've got some tasks each split between us. I'm going to stick the music in balancing, which I'm going to add a new title for review. So today the plan for us on this live stream is going to be to work on some of this grass shop window and adding support for changing the grass that you want to plant. So let's do that, shall we? I think we'll start off with adding support for changing the grass to plant, and then we can worry about designing the actual window. So first things first, we actually need to create some different types of grass. At the moment we've got the normal grass, which is just it's a scriptable object. All of them are scriptable objects. It's just this default kind of costs 1 coin, grows up to feed 3 times, and gives 5 food every time it's eaten. It can regrow, so it won't disappear after sheep have eaten it. Some of the grasses will, especially the more rare ones where they do things like pedigree. Pedigree, for example, is a real fancy trait which sets the currency value of a sheep to 500. So that's a good one to have because it makes sheep really valuable. Really hard to get though and really rare to pass on. So the grasses also have a growth rate, which is how quickly they regrow, and then a list of traits that they give to a sheep. So this normal grass is just a basic type of grass that you use to stop your sheep from dying. It regenerates hunger, and that's about it. It doesn't give any traits, doesn't do anything special. We're going to make one that does something special. So I think I'm going to call it... we'll be really lazy. We'll just make slow grass. And we're going to make it green instead of orange so that we can see the difference. So we go traits and grass, and we will call this slow grass. And I've just thought actually we should probably be giving these names because they'll need some information about them on the screen. So let's go ahead and do some of that stuff. We will create a new header called basic info, public string grass name, and I'll tell you what, we'll also have a public string grass description. Nice. Casper, welcome my man, hope you're doing good. Special grass sounds like something you'd smoke. Maybe the sheep are just getting high. That's all they're doing. It doesn't look like it on the surface, but it's a blazing farm. There we go, we've got our grass updated. I need to sort all of my scripts into assemblies. For anybody who uses Unity who doesn't know what an assembly is, it's a handy dandy little thing that basically just groups all of your classes into their own compilable sets of code. So by default in Unity, everything that you create goes under the same assembly. So every time you change one script, if you've got 500 scripts and you haven't made assemblies for each of the things to like subsection them, then you make one change in one script and Unity recompiles all 500 of those scripts that you've got. If you make assemblies, you can split those scripts up into little groups like 10, 20 scripts, maybe even smaller than that depending on functionality, and that way when you go to make a change in one of your scripts, it only has to recompile a few of them rather than needing to recompile every single script that you've written. So that's a fun one to look into. Doing a tutorial trying to write things to be brief and understandable is hell. Yeah, I feel that, man. I feel that. You got to keep sharing your screenshots in the server. So let's call this common grass, a common grass type with no special abilities, just tasty, healthy and nutritious for the sheep. No, just a tasty, healthy and nutritious meal. There we go. Exclamation mark. Not a meal. So that's our common grass. Our slow grass we will call slow grass. Oh god, bit of lag in the engine. Slow grass is how should we describe this? So first of all, let's think about what I want it to do. It's going to give sluggish as a trait, which makes sheep move slowly, but there's got to be some kind of pro to getting it as well. So I'll tell you what, if we make it so that it makes sheep metabolic, that probably makes them need to eat less. Or maybe we make them proactive. So proactive just decreases the rate at which sheep can reproduce. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. We'll make this cost 3 currency. We'll allow it to regrow, I think. It'll have a feed value of 2, so it gives you less food back. And it will have a max growth value of 2, I think. Fulfilling yet dulling, yes, exactly. It's a special type of grass indeed. So, how would I describe this? A simple common blade which will increase a sheep's desire to reproduce at the expense of their movement speed. So this is where the kind of you got some kind of strategy to come in, because this is the thing. Actually, in chat Joseph said maybe have negatives be less likely to pass on, so it's an incentive to take negatives to pass positives. That's exactly the case, somewhat. At the moment the chance of any gene being passed on is completely equal, and it'll effectively be the case that when I go to do some planning and when I have discussions with Alex about the way that we're going to balance the game, we'll kind of sort the traits into tiers. So we'll have like a common tier, a rare tier, an ultra rare, and then a super rare or something like that. And that will be the order in which things are prioritized for being passed on. Obviously still allowing for ultra rare passes to happen, but the whole idea is that it kind of works off of that basic kind of genetics that you would have done in like high school biology, where you do your Punnett square, I think it's called. Yeah, Punnett square. And you'll have like the dominant genes and the recessive genes, and you can like line them up and see which one's more likely to be passed on and the chances of everything. It works in the same kind of way. So for example, if 2 parents both have the same gene, that gene is more likely to be passed on to the child, which is I like the way that works. It's kind of cool. But that's sort of the joy with this here. Once a sheep has eaten that grass, they don't get that trait personally, they just have the ability to pass it on to their offspring. So if I were to feed this grass to all of my sheep, they might pass on the sluggish gene, or they might pass on the proactive gene, or they might pass on both, because it's completely random out of the pool of both parents' genes. Dominant genes. Good trousers. Indie Indian, welcome my friend. Billy has not died of hunger, don't worry, it's just the default text. He's still very much alive. We are good, we are good. So, now that anecdote about the way that gene inheritance has gone, I've changed my mind about this regrowing, because I think it would be a bit overpowered if we made every sheep proactive, because it basically cuts the time for reproductivity build-up to happen. So we'll give it a max growth value of 3, like the normal grass, and we'll say it can't regrow, so once it's gone, it's gone. And then we will take our placeholder grass and we will edit this little prefab to become our new and improved slow grass. And eventually I'll replace these all with proper models, but for the time being, for practice's sake, not practice, sorry, the sake of prototyping, that's it, we'll just do it normal. What I will do is duplicate our here leaves material and attempt to get it going. I need to figure out what on earth is going on with my normal displacement, because it's not really doing what it's supposed to do. It's just like flexing all of the edges. It's not ideal. What am I doing? Leaves 1. Let's duplicate you, and I'm going to call it slow grass, and I think we'll make a new oh, I've got a grasses folder. Good. So our slow grass, we will have it be, I think, like a, let's go with yellow. No, let's go with this green. This is a good green. It feels slow. Feels like a slow green. And let's apply it to our grass model as well, so that we can get an idea of how it stands out on the foreground. So my first thought is that is way too difficult to see. So let's brighten up the top end of it. And therein lies the issue with my shader. It's not universally applicable. For some reason. Something about the way that the normals of a default cube work, I guess. But annoying nonetheless. But you know what, colours wise I think that will be fine. Maybe let's not make it quite so bright. Go with a value of 70. Sure. We'll give it a sway speed of 3.5 and leave the wind strength the same. So now we got this nice slow sway grass, which I'm looking at from the wrong side. There we go. Almost looks like a flower. And I think what I'll probably do as well is just put it into a cluster of 3, because we do like clusters of 3. Give them all a scale of 0.125 by 0.125, and then we'll give this one a height of, let's say, 0.25, and then this one like a 0.05. And then if we look from the top, we should be able to take these and kind of position them in a little cluster. Like so. Look at that. Isn't that a gorgeous mess? That is atrocious. Let's properly take down the wind strength. There. That's a bit better. And I'm going to put my tool 1 in the back as well. Like so. I feel like Bob Ross sometimes when I do these things, which is so random, but it's like, yeah, happy little accidents. There we go. We've got our little slow grass. Love that. So this is a grass object, we've got the graphics reference, and that's fine. We don't need to have a reference to our scriptable object because we initialized that after the fact. We will name this as slow grass, and pop it into our prefabs. Plonk. I should probably fix the collider size, but no, actually no, it's fine. I can have it uniform. And then on our slow grass object, we set our transform to be equal to that slow grass prefab. Cool. Let's go into our grass placement system. And we are going to replace this grass object to place with an array grass objects to place, like so. And we will also have a private int selected grass index, which will have equal to 0 by default. And we will have a public void set grass index, like so. Just going to take an int for grass index. Yep. Still getting used to this keyboard. And in here we will simply say if there we go, if grass index is less than 0, or grass index is greater than or equal to our grass objects to place dot length, then we're going to return, because that's an invalid thing. And I'll tell you what, we'll debug.log a warning, which will say warning, tried to set grass index to an invalid value of grass index. That way we won't get any weird array issues or null pointer exceptions. So once we've done that check, everything checks out. We can say our current grass index, selected grass index equals grass index. Beautiful, simple as that. And then we simply have to go in here and replace all of our instances of grass object to place with grass objects to place at selected grass index. Beautiful. And then finally, in our update function, we will do some little if statements to say if input dot get key down, whoops, key code dot 1. Is that going to be alpha? Yeah. Alpha 0. Or... no. Yeah. That's fine. Actually, no. Alpha 1. We'll do alpha 1. And alpha 2. Alpha 12. Then we will call our set grass index as 0 and set grass index as 1. Let's have a look at what's going on in chat. Always think slow as in blue. Blue probably is a good colour for slow. I think our greeny we've got a kind of teal going for it at the moment. which works nicely. It's this kind of like bluey green, which is cool. Some happy little trees. We do have happy little trees. Here they are, doing a little wave in the wind. Assassin Gamer. So this is supposed to be a chill sheep simulator thingy where the sheep's kneecaps are broken and they need to eat grass to become a better version of crippled sheep and then get sold to the black market. Pretty much you hit the nail on the head. Feed the other sheep and continue the cycle. Exactly. We sell the sheep to the shepherds to use their decaying bodies as fertilizer. That's exactly it. That's dark, man. Dark world. But yeah, it's a chill little sheep game. Not much to think about. You just do the thing. And I tell you what I'm gonna do as well. I'm gonna just change our time tick system so that times are a little bit slower, quicker even. So these numbers, if I'm remembering correctly, represent the number of seconds it takes for a tick to happen. So if you're ticking fast, then it takes 1 second, and if you're ticking at normal speed, it takes 5 seconds to tick. We're going to change this to 0.5, and we're going to change this one to 0.1. So everything happens really quickly, and that way we can see the day-night cycle, and we can also breed some sheep as well, because that's always exciting. The only worry I have is that it's potentially going to kill sheep before I have the chance to sell them and get some money. So, in our game manager, I am going to set currency 50. I'm not calling start game anywhere. Let's call it here. Give myself some starting currency. So, dude, we got Alan in chat. Big bagel. We're making sheep game today. Oh, I've got a compilation error. Oh no. Eh? Oh, missing a bracket. That's cool. Loving the new setup. Appreciate it, boss man. Appreciate it. I'm looking forward to posting more videos again with the proper. I've got like a proper camera stand and the proper lens and everything, and now we've got the new lights. It's great. Like, seriously, the difference that it makes. Just in case you guys forgot, that's what we were working with before. There's a bit of latency on the stream, so I can't actually see that it's updated yet, but you can see it's properly naff compared to that, which is way better. We don't have lag on the camera because the lighting is proper and everything's good, and it's just really nice. And the backlight as well is a nice addition. Sometimes I have it green, sometimes red. Today we're doing purple because it matches my my treble clef that I've got over here. Very nice. Great looking UI from Zap Guy. Thank you, my man, and thank you again for the shout out that you gave me. That has pushed the channel up to 600 subs from the 537 that we were at before. So I am just unbelievably grateful for the fact that you did that. I genuinely really appreciate it. I can't express my gratitude enough. It means the world. Thank you very much, my man, and thank you for appreciating the UI. Glad you dig it. I like how you're concerned with sheep welfare because you can't sell dead sheep. Yeah, basically. The game doesn't have to make sense. The sheep don't work properly. There was a period of time at the start of development where I was spending ages trying to get the procedural animation to work properly, because sometimes a leg would just get stuck on the floor and you'd end up with this really long line, and it wasn't good. Anyway, let's have a look and see how things are looking. Now I can demo the sheep reproduction for you as well, and we'll also get some day-night cycle going. Yeah, look how quickly that's ticking down. He's already searching for food. Let's just plant. Oh god, why can't I plant? No, Harry died. No. Okay, so I've fully broken replacement. Balthazar has died of hunger. Harry died of hunger. I didn't even get to check what all of their names were. We've got 145 errors. Let's find out what those are. Index out of... What do you mean? Oh, yeah. I actually need to put the things in the array, don't I? Probably be smart. Normal grass at index 0 and slow grass at index 2. Keep producing the great content. Thank you, Zayap guy. I will try my best. Gonna start putting out new videos this weekend. We're gonna do some cool stuff. I'm gonna start off with a review of the Air 75 keyboard because I've been using it for about 2 weeks now and I am loving it still. A couple of notes about it just from an adjustment point of view and a general kind of feel, but overall this thing is a hella sturdy mechanical keyboard. Like, it's real nice. It's real nice. Proper. It just feels great. It feels great. Gonna learn where little sheep come from and keep the demo family friendly. Trust me, you guys are gonna love this. It's so nice. We just need to make sure we don't let our sheep die of hunger. So I'm gonna plant a load of grass in the middle of our scene straight off the bat. There we go. Let's get that going so they can at least feed. And hopefully they get to the grass before they die. Yeah, good, good. Oh, Shrek the Second died of hunger. Does that mean we have 2 Shreks? Oh my god, we do. They're just going to sit and eat constantly because the hunger's going to tick down at the same rate that they... Oh, no. Newton's going to die of... Oh, okay, yeah, Newton died of exhaustion. So, we're not doing any breeding. And Shrek died of hunger. Okay, this is why we can't mess with the time tick system. Let's make that a bit more realistic, shall we? Let's maybe make the normal like 2.5 and make the speedy leave at 1 because I can't activate it anyway. And we'll let that reload. This is the fun thing about the names though as well. The names are completely procedural. So if you end up with more than one sheep where it's selected the same name, it tacks on a Roman numeral for the increment that it is. So if you play for long enough, then you'll end up with maybe like a George V as one of your sheep, and it's great. A man died of eating too fast. Basically, Shrek is life. Shrek was life. Oh. Let's get this grass down. Grass all over the place so they can feed, and I don't think we actually have enough to plant our other type of grass, so I'll just plant some more of this. Jeffrey's wandering. He's big chilling. We got Scott. Scott's metabolic, so he gets hungry at a lower speed, and Woolworth is completely normal as well. So this is cool. As you can see, Scott is worth 8 currency because he's got this metabolic. He doesn't need to eat as much, so he's a more valuable sheep to have. Again, don't question the way the logic works. Just know that it does. These guys are they're gonna do their thing for a bit. I don't want to sell any of them until I can get them reproducing. Because I want to keep a hold of... Actually, no, you know what? We're cool. We can sell Jeffrey. Actually, yeah. Let me know. Shall I sell Jeffrey or shall I sell Woolworth? What are we thinking? Let me know in chat. Who are we selling? Jeffrey and Scott are sleeping. Woolworth's just eating. Eating? Woolworth, it doesn't look like you're eating, my guy. There's some errors going on here. Oh well, yeah, Scott and Woolworth, Scott and Jeffrey even, jeez. Sell Jeff while he sleeps. That's 1 vote for Jeff. And we are in night 1 of day 1. Tell you what, let me just full screen this real quick so that we can get it nice and big on the screen. We are going to play this through until I can get some reproduction going. Because honestly, it's so funny. What? Jeffrey died of hunger? I think Woolworth is bugged. And so Scott's trying to eat this thing, but Woolworth is bugged out. We're going to go behind the curtain and just move Woolworth because otherwise we're screwed. Where's Woolworth? Here's Woolworth. We're just gonna... There we go. Look. Yeah, they've bugged out. They've bugged out. So, something's giving me some errors here. It's a null reference exception. Object not set to reference in the eat state. Sheep entity.target grass. Which bit is null? I mean, I guess it's the target grass is null. Because the sheep entity, I've got to check for that in the base level state class. Yeah, when we enter the state, it does a check to... Oh, no, it's just checking the thing. So we'll say success equals sheep entity. It's not... Whoop, it's not equal to null. And we'll also do... No, we won't. Yeah, we'll check that. And that way we'll know if it's actually failing. Let's see who we get this time. And I'm going to plant some of the slow grass as well, because that way we can also test the inheritance is working. Hopefully we don't get any too special genes occurring. We'll just get some basic ass sheep and we'll see what happens. Oh. Oh, good. I thought I'd created an infinite loop then. We've got Godfrey, Wooly, and Balthazar. There's our normal grass. And there is our slow grass. It's like a little building. And it doesn't sway very much. But we are also now out of money. We've got a proactive sheep. Yes. And we've got a sluggish sheep. So that's literally the two things that I want to test out with the slow grass. We've also got a greedy night owl. It's exactly what I didn't want to happen. That's interesting as well. He's chosen to go for this grass over the slow grass, which makes me think I must have set something up wrong. Because they're not going for it. They're not going for it. Either way, our man Wooly is almost ready for the reproducing, which we could really do with, because at the moment our outlook is not great. Wooly's worth 10. He's a proactive sheep. He's worthy. Balthazar is worth 2, and Godfrey is worth 4. Oh, Godfrey's bugging out again. I think they're both trying to get to this same piece of grass. And none of them can actually get there, so they're all kind of just trying to push past each other. Oh no, Wooly's about to die. No. Wooly, no. Just pick some different grass, man. That's it. Wooly's died of hunger. Well, I feel like this is a bug that we're going to need to fix. Just putting it out there. Which means I need to revisit my logic on how I've actually got this working. That's not what I wanted to do today, but I don't really have a choice because I need to get it to work. So, let me walk you through the way that eating in this game works. Effectively, sheep have data for how hungry they are, how tired they are, and how quickly they move and things like that, and how close to being ready to reproduce they are. So we use a state machine. It's a utility AI implementation, a very bad one, albeit, but it's the utility AI nonetheless. So the idea is that we take a look at the circumstances. The sheep looks at its current circumstance. It just has a check to see, are we hungry? Are we dead? First of all, are we starving? If we're starving, we're going to die. If we're not starving, or if we're like massively fatigued, we're also going to die. And then we check through to see what different things we're going to do based on the weights of our different what's-a-majignets, different statistics. So we get a weight for the hunger and we get a weight for the fatigue, and then we'll check what state we're currently in. So the idea is that if we're not sleeping, then we should be idle as a base. We then do a check to see if we are tired enough to be sleeping. So if our exhaustion weight, the sleep weight, is greater than 70 out of 100, then we're going to say we should be sleeping. We then do a check for hunger. So the conditions of hunger is if we are greater than 30 and we're not going to be sleeping, or our hunger weight is greater than our sleep rate and we are sleeping. So the idea is that hunger takes precedence over sleep, but only if we're not already sleeping and hunger is in a more critical condition than our energy. And then it will switch to the eat state. If we're reproducing, we're reproducing. The idea is that the player decides when a sheep reproduces. So if you've pressed that button, you've committed to getting the sheep to reproduce, and you've just got to take that L if you've actually caused them to starve to their death. Basically, they're going to bone or they're going to die trying. And then if the current state is not equal to what our previous state was, then we'll update our state machine with the state that we've just chosen in that search tree. So that's all well and good. Those state trees then are what contain each of the different states. So our eat state tree, if we head over into here and I'll pull out one of my sheep once it's compiled all of my code. We will pull out a sheep. Please. Please. It's properly on the slow side today. I haven't even got that much running. I think it's because I'm low on space. My hard drive is very maxed out at the moment. Could do with having a clean out. Spring clean in the middle of winter. Okay, so we've got a sheep. On our sheep we have state trees. So we've got an idle tree which has an idle state and a wander state. We have a food tree which has a search state, an approach state and an eat state. And we have a sleep tree where it just has a sleep state, and then a reproductive tree which is similar to the food tree. We basically have a find partner state which is the same as the search state. We've then got an await partner state, which is the approach state, or in the case of a sheep that is being approached, it's going to sit there and wait for the partner to show up. And then we've got a reproduce state, which is the actual doing the reproduction thing, which, just for reference, the animation for that is they kind of face each other and then bob up and down and heart particles come out the top. Woo! My microphone went, but that was an entertaining animation, and it fits the kind of cutesy art style of the game. So that's what I ended up going with. And it's very funny. So looking at our food tree, the way that I've set this up is, first of all, we search. So while in the search state, as long as entered state is true, so we are actually in an entered state, the state is entered successfully. We're going to check and see if we haven't found any grass. We're going to search for food. I'm going to get rid of that debug because there's a lot of logs being printed out. So if we haven't found grass, we're going to do a physics.overlap sphere for everything that's on the grass layer. If that array is not empty, we will iterate through that, find some grass that's within our range, and we do a check to see if that grass is consumable, and we basically pick the first consumable grass that's in that array. This is where the issue comes in. So what we want to do at this point is say to that grass that we've just found, grass found dot consumable equals false. Oh, it's right there. Okay, so that's good. That's correct. So we can't consume this grass. And then target location, yeah, that's all fine. Otherwise we say grass has been found. I don't need that else. So then we say I mean, really, this should be inside the else. So if we have found grass, oh no, of course. Yeah, I'm being stupid. So after we've done that if statement to say if we haven't found any grass, we'll do that physics.overlap sphere. That's probably going to use up a lot of resource, actually. I should think about a way to make that more effective. But the idea is that it will pick a random position in the world and then walk to that position. If it hasn't found grass. Otherwise, if it has found grass, we are going to enter the state not of type eat. We want to enter the approach state. Once it recompiles. That's it. Just debug.log. Our sheep is approaching some grass. Great. Not helpful. So we are going straight to the eat state. I don't like that. That's not how things are supposed to happen. Let me look at my state types. Idle, wandering, eat, sleep, reproduce. Let's add a new one here called approaching. So then in our approach state, I want to have an on enable. And we'll make this state type dot approach. We'll also have an enter state. And in this one, we are going to do I actually want to do anything here? I guess I do. I want to... no, I'll leave it for now. I'll leave it for now. We're basically doing all of the approach logic in the search state, which is not what I want, but I'll fix that later. Let's have a look at what's going on in the chat. Jeff basically did a middle finger to the economy. Pretty much. He just went and died as the most valuable sheep that I owned. It's absolutely tragic. They need to target different grass when one has targeted another. Yeah. This is what I thought I had done. So in the way that this grass being consumable, it will only select a grass if that grass is consumable. My guess is that somehow, for some reason, the that parameter isn't getting updated. That parameter isn't getting updated before the next sheep then goes to check it, which not ideal. Excuse me. Yeah, not ideal if that is the case. I don't see why it would be the case, because it's not running concurrently. It is sequential. These aren't multi-threaded sheep. They are just normal sheep. So my guess is maybe that it would then be in this eat state. Yes, I think that's exactly what the issue is. So with our sheep, once we've hit our target destination, we enter this state. Grass to eat is equal to our sheep entity's target grass, and then we're doing a logical check just to say if it's null, then we're going to return false. So we fail to enter the state because we don't actually have some grass to eat. As long as that's fine, we enter state true and return that as our value. The idea being that in our state tree, if we get false back from this enter state, we just enter whatever the previous state was. Or we remain in the current state, I guess. So in the update state, we then do a check to say if we can eat, we set can eat to false, and then we play an animation and start a coroutine for eating. That does grass to eat.consume, which is the process of actually eating the grass. We then wait for a second, and then comes the fancy bit. We do a check to see if there is food, if there's no food left on that piece of grass, or our sheep is completely full. Then we will say the sheep entity, the target grass, there should be grass to consume, grass to consume, to eat. There we go. Dot consumable is equal to grass to eat dot feed available is greater than 0. So if it is greater than 0, it'll be true. If it's not, it'll be false still. We then set our target grass to nothing, which I think I'll do that first. rather than last. And then we get our sheep entity to evaluate its next state tree, which... Is that what I want it to do? I think it does that every frame anyway. Yeah, so we don't actually need to do that here. We do just want to update our state manager and enter the wandering state, so that will take us back to the searching for food state. Oh yeah, that's the problem. If we're searching for food, we don't evaluate our state tree, which is not the way things should be. We should always evaluate the state tree. Tell you what, just in case that royally butchers things, I'm gonna actually just comment that if statement. Wait, no, that does make sense. So as long as we're not eating, we're evaluating a state tree. Because we don't want to change state in the middle of our eating process. And suddenly we'll be like noshing down on some slow grass, and suddenly you go and reproduce. We want to finish what we're doing, which probably means I need to refactor it for like a queue, a state queue or something, so that it can load up its actions. But okay, let's shift our logic for approaching the grass over into the approach thing. So we're actually going to do that. State manager.enter state approaching. I'm going to nab this to go in our public override void update state. Oh, I've got update state. It's there. Yeah. Meh. We want a public, no, it doesn't need to be public, just a vector2 grass position, and we are going to enter state, nope, override enter state. And we want to say if base.enter state, first of all, and then also sheep entity dot grass target grass is not equal to null. Otherwise we return false. I'm lying. We're going to say entered state equals false, and then return entered state down at the bottom. No worries, dude, no worries. It was a pleasure having you back here. Hopefully we'll see you again next week. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and take it easy. I'll catch you on the flip-flop. Catch you on the flip-flop. So what we're going to do here is calculate our grass position, first of all, by taking a cache of the sheep entity vector2 grass, no, not grass position. Let's call this target position. And then we can have a vector2 grass position. Grass position equals sheep entity dot target grass dot transform dot position. We don't actually want that to be a vector 2, we want it to be a vector 3, because vector 2s in a 3D plane make things tricky. And then we are going to set our target position equal to, and what we want to do is have it be a position on the line between, we want it to basically be a certain amount of units closer to the sheep. So I've got to figure out how to do maths. We can figure out the direction of the grass to... Okay, so vector 3, direction from grass to sheep, which is going to be equal to our grass position minus our transform dot, our sheep entity dot transform dot position in brackets, and then we're going to normalize it. Then we can say our target position is going to equal our grass position minus the direction from grass to sheep multiplied by like 0.5. So that way sheep won't stand on top of the grass that they're eating, they'll just stand next to it. This is probably going to be closer to like 0.25 because everything's on such a small scale. But that's cool. That's cool. So then in our update, we're going to do this thing. We'll say sheep entity dot update position. Oh no, it's sheep body, isn't it? Body dot update destination target position. Then we'll say here, as long as the distance between our current position and the target position is less than or equal to 0.1, we will do a state manager dot enter state eat. So that's our approach state sorted. So then in the actual eating, I think we discussed that that should be working in the way that it is. Okay, so theoretically everything is working as it should now. I want to make sure that our slow grass is on the correct layer because it was having issues being detected earlier, which could be down to the fact that it's on a different layer. Could be down to something else entirely, like a missing tag or something. I need to cross-reference it with the placeholder grass. Let's have a look. It's on the correct layer. Neither of them have a tag. Both got box collider, both got rigid body. Let's make sure the box collider for this is actually the right kind of size. Looks like it is. There won't be any differences in the rigid body because I didn't change anything. It has got the grass object on it. Feed available is 0. That's normal. Let's see what happens if we just place that grass first of all. No, let's not. Let's one bug at a time. One bug at a time. Let's have a look and see if our sheep now behave correctly when it comes to feeding. We got a timid sheep, not worth a lot at all. Jeff and Sean. Sean is greedy. Jeez, we have not got a good set of sheep here. So Jeff is probably going to be our saviour. Chances are we'll end up selling the others. Okay, Jeff's bugged out. Sean is bugged out. And Wooly is behaving correctly. Why did Sean and Jeff bug out? I don't understand. Jeff, my guy. I don't understand. Wooly seems to be working though. He's doing good. He just doesn't have anyone to reproduce with now, poor little timid sod. Being timid means it takes a long time before it's ready to reproduce. So he's probably not good for reproducing anyway. Oh, he woke up to chow down. That eating animation is so great. Oh, he's bugged. No, he's not. He was just chilling. That's alright then. Now he's searching for food. Oh, and he's gone to sleep. He's going to wake up soon because he's going to be too hungry. Once the bar gets to around here. Yeah. There he goes. Okay, so the approaching food state seems to kind of break things. Weird. Okay, let's see if we can figure out why that's an issue. Let's just walk through our logic. So the searching state, supposedly everything is working in here because he is finding the grass and he is then switching to the approach state. I suppose let's do a thing here. Let's do a debug.log failed to enter state approach. Let's put in some useful information as well. What's going to be useful? Sheep, target grass. I think can I put it in these things? No, I can't. Plus sheep entity dot target grass dot name. I get no. That's fine. just want to make sure I've done some math good here. If the distance is less than or equal to 0.1, then we can eat. I think that should be fine. Oh no, of course it's not going to be fine. No, it should be fine. Because we're setting our target position, yeah. Okay, let's see what the deal is here. Create a little grass square in the middle here. So Sam is currently wandering, searching for food. I think it's. I think I know the issue. I think I know the issue. I think it's to do with our search state. So we are actually updating our target position. When we do this, we actually, instead of looking at our distance down here and then entering the state, we want to just say up here we'll enter that state, and then we can get rid of the if statement down here so that it can actually reach the code. Because what it was doing is basically updating the target position for it to walk to the position of the grass, making its way there, and then entering the approach state, which means it's basically overshot the runway, but it's also in the right range, so things get wacky. I'm hoping that's the way that things are going anyway. That's what my brain's telling me. And if that works, I think probably we'll test out, or we'll figure out why they're not eating the slow grass, and then we'll call it a day there, because that will probably take us nicely up to the kind of hour and a half, 2 hour mark. Let's have a look. Let's follow Dave, shall we? Hopping along like a little jolly boy. He's chilling. Oh, Dave's metabolic. He's going to be fine. Stephen is approaching his food. Okay. So at least they're entering the states at the correct time now. They're just not then eating the grass. And it looks like Ronald and Dave have picked the same grass to eat. So it must be something in the approach state then. Something must be wrong here. This is all fine. I'm going to put a debug.log has reached destination. I just realized I haven't actually got my logs turned on, and it's going to clear them all because I've just recompiled the code. There we go. Come on. There we go. So it is entering the state successfully. No errors related to our code. Yeah. So yeah, it's just not hitting this exit condition, I guess. Must be the case. And I reckon it's probably because of that. Probably because of the way that navmesh agents work. It's not going to get directly to the position because it's got a skin width. Yeah, of course. So here we go. The sheep, I'm using Unity's navmesh components for the AI of the sheep so that they can avoid each other and make sure they're not going to the same places or walk around each other if they need to walk in a straight line to another place and they're not going to do some weird wacky stuff. So we've got a navmesh agent with a radius of 0.5. So it's always gonna, when I tell it to go to a position, I don't think it will actually move its entire thing to that position because of the way that it slows down to that point. That feels stupid if that is the thing, but we'll find out if Unity is clever enough to account for that in a moment, I suppose. Let's watch Scott. Straight in. Hey, Juicebox, how you doing? Welcome. If it's your first time here, which, judging by your comment, it is your first time here, welcome. Oh, you came from Twitter, nice. I'm glad to hear that Twitter's doing things. I'm a bit bad at Twitter, same that I am at YouTube. As you could probably tell, I haven't posted a video in a while, but I'm back to live streaming every week on a Tuesday now. So definitely come by, hang out when you can. I love interacting with you guys and talking about the games that we're making and the games that you're making and all the rest of it. Today we're working on a game called Shepherd, which is a little sandbox kind of sheep breeding game where sheep eat grass and get different traits which then affect how much money they're worth. So yeah, we're currently trying to fix some bugs with the way that sheep eat food because it's a bit scuffed. Balthazar and Scott have both gone to sleep. Wooly's proactive, and is Balthazar? No, it's just Wooly's proactive. Great. So these guys are big chilling. I think we've predominantly fixed our issues now. There's just the kind of, there's some weird rotation stuff goes on sometimes when the sheep's trying to eat certain grass. That one looked like it was okay. This one is not okay. But at least they're not dying anymore. They're actually managing to eat their food. Wooly's doing bits as well as far as food consumption goes. I think these tick values just need some balancing because they're a bit erratic. They'll be like sleeping and then suddenly they'll be, oh, I need food, and then they'll go back to sleep again. And they sleep during the day and not during the night. It's quite funny. I'm pretty sure you just randomly tweeted one of your tweets once and you like my profile pics, so decided to investigate. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I mean, Am I following you on Twitter? If I'm not, send me over a message, or ping me somewhere, either on the Discord server or on Twitter itself, and I'll give you a follow back. Because, like I say, I'm terrible at social media. I keep like slacking on things and not posting and not interacting with people. So I need to up that, and I would genuinely like to follow you. It's cool, it reminds you of Sock Pop, because Sock Pop are the direct inspiration for this game. I think it was Ollie and Bolly was the one I saw, where I saw the sheep that they had in there, and the colour scheme as well is from that game. The yellows and the reds and the shades of brown are either taken from or very close to the Ollie and Bolly game by Sock Pop. And it does have this kind of cutesy, flat shaded vibe to it. But yeah, Sock Pop was exactly what I was going for when I was creating the game, which is cool. So I'm glad I've done a good job. I want to let this tick on long enough so that I can actually get these guys reproducing, so that I can have at least one record of the animation on the stream, and then I can share it in the Discord server as well. Thank you very much. All of it's using default Unity shapes, to be fair. I haven't done any modelling in anything like Blender or any 3D software. There's no textures. Everything is just using shaders made custom in Shader Graph, and using the default Unity primitives, which I've just scaled to be how I want them to be. The legs for the sheep are procedurally animated using line renderer and then a circle for the foot. Particle effects are obviously a bit different. I've had to either make sprites or make some text that I can use for those. But other than that, everything is default Unity objects, just to flex how possible it is to make games without any expertise of modeling. There's an issue. Did you see that? My sheep was trying to eat. He was eating grass from over in the middle here, and he's not even next to it. We are so close to being able to get some of these guys reproducing. Oh, we can get Wooly to reproduce. Let's do it. Go, Wooly. Go. Searching for a partner. Why are you going over there, mate? I can't actually remember how the logic for partner searching works, but he is now going to search until he finds somebody, or die trying, and he's just died. Great. I need to make it so that if a sheep dies, it also pops out of the screen, because we're stuck in this view. Or we're stuck with the screen up. Do I need to tell two sheep to reproduce? I think I might have to tell two sheep to reproduce, which means I need both of them to be in a reproduction state. Although I'm not sure I like that from a balancing point of view or a gameplay point of view. If you've got a sheep that is reproduction ready, you should be able to just hit the button, I think. And they can just find another sheep and reproduce with them. Maybe I'll set a threshold. So if the reproductive drive is above a certain amount. No! Balthazar died of hunger. What an idiot. Well, there's not much else we can do there other than sell Scott and get some money for it. Yeah, the eating is working better than it was. It's not quite there yet, but all can be fixed with balancing. The last thing that I'm going to do before I end the stream for today is just have a look at that reproduction logic and make sure that everything works or everything's coded as I expect it to be. And then we'll call it a day once Unity starts behaving. Can you name the sheep and stuff? You can't name the sheep custom. I might consider adding that as a feature, but at the moment it's randomly generated from a very lengthy list. If you'd like to submit a name that you could possibly get as a random name, head over to the Discord server. There's a link in the description for that if you're not there already, and stick some suggestions in there, and I will add them to the game. I might add them to the game. I will add them to the game. We've got a lot of ones. We've even got Ollie and Bolly in here as a nod to the inspiration for the game. So if you've got any suggestions for sheep names that you want to see pop up occasionally, Discord's the place to do it. And I will add them to this lengthy list of sheep names that can be randomly selected. Let's have a look. Find partner state. Oh wait, partner state. I should just be looking at the sheep really, but screw it. So yes, can reproduce, and that is defined by our update statistics. Yep, yeah. So it has to be maxed out for the sheep to be able to reproduce. I'm going to change that to a threshold. So as long as the sheep is like predominantly in the mood for reproducing, so we'll do like as long as it's above 80%, then it's fine. Some scary code. It's not that bad, to be honest. It looks worse than it is. The most complex code that we have in the code base, I was telling Alex, who's the other person who's working on this game with me, I was telling him about how the code works because he's just come onto the team. And the most complicated section of it is this exposed fields code, which uses some custom editor scripting and also reflection, so that I can select variables on classes in the Unity inspector, and that's the most complex thing because it's reflection and it's kind of like, how does this work? And it's split across a few different classes for custom editor scripting and custom attribute that we have here as well, and various things like that. But the general way that the sheep works is pretty straightforward. It just looks weird because I've got these square brackets and quotation marks everywhere, but it's just because it's a dictionary, so I'm indexing by a string instead of indexing by a number like you would with an array or a list. Makes it easy to keep track of statistics. Where is it? I think it's in a parent class, but yeah, it's just a dictionary where I can map a string to an entity statistic. So I'm going to just change the reproductive rate on a sheep by default. Have I saved everything? Yeah, I have. I'm going to change the default reproduction rate of a sheep. Have I saved everything? Yeah. I'm surprised it didn't recompile. Let's set our reproductive rate back down to 10 so that we can get them reproducing quickly, and then we can demo this this animation, make sure everything's working, and then I will call it a day on this stream, because time is getting on. Get some food in here, and I'm going to buy some of the other grass as well just to fill out the space. Some slow grass. Let's have a look. Jessica's chilling. We got Jessica, we got Daniel, and we got Arthur. Nothing special about Daniel. Arthur is both metabolic and lazy. Makes him a little bit better than normal. And Jessica is completely normal. So the idea with this game is that in the early game it's all very... Oh! Okay, my approach state is broken again. Interesting. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to make that work better, because it's so janky at the moment. I think probably what's happening here is that Arthur's trying to eat the food that Jessica was sleeping on, so he couldn't loop around, and now probably a similar case is happening with, yeah, these guys are trying to get to the same food. And they don't like to approach the slow grass for some reason. I think maybe what I'll have to do is just decrease the size of the what's it called? The nav mesh agent skin, so that they can clip through each other a little bit. What are you doing, Jessica? Surely you've approached your food. It's weird, like I can't see the thing they want to target. Oh, there we go, Jessica's gone. Frozen Wells off. Thanks very much for stopping by, man. I hope I'll catch you in the next one, and hopefully see you in the Discord server over the course of the week as well. Take care. I just want to make sure these guys stay alive. Yeah, okay, we can reproduce now. Let's make this happen. Here we go, check this out. So Arthur's going to finish eating. There we go. Boom! Arthur just gave birth to Dave. Yes! And Dave is both metabolic and lazy, just like his father. Brilliant. So now that's reset the reproductive drive to 0. Daniel's about to die. Yeah, there we go. We lost Daniel. Okay, cool. So, with that, I am going to end the stream there. Obviously, there's a lot of bugs to fix out. I didn't achieve what I wanted to achieve in this stream, as the primary objective was going to be the grass placement stuff. We were going to make a menu for being able to buy different grass, but chances are we'll probably pick that up next week, as a lot of the things I'm doing on Square Off at the moment are very back end. I'm doing the implementation for online multiplayer through the Steam networking APIs, and yeah, that's not very fun to watch, and also not very fun to do. So I won't bother streaming that, but next week we'll either be working on Shepherd again, or we'll be working on Let Me Out. If you are interested in getting a demo copy of Square Off and you want to try it out before the game releases next year, please do go and check the link in the description to be able to get your hands on a free copy of the demo. If you aren't already in the Discord server and you want to get socializing with me and some of the other people that have been in the stream and who follow me on my indie game development journey, please consider joining the Discord server. There's a link in the description for that as well. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. We've just hit 600 subs, which is awesome, and hopefully we continue to grow. I'm going to be posting videos again soon. Hopefully the first one will be up this weekend. If not, next weekend will be the time I'm aiming for at the latest. So yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get notified when the video goes out. And last but not least, if you didn't catch the whole of this stream and you want to see more of it, please consider signing up to our Patreon in the description to be able to get access to these live streams after they've happened. It only costs £1 a month, and you also get early access to purchasing games that we release. So it is something worth considering. Doesn't cost a lot, helps me out as a solo indie developer trying to go full time, and I would appreciate it very much. With all that said, thank you very much everybody for watching and subscribing, and I hope to see you in the next ones. Cheers guys.